Like you, we are entrepreneurs simply trying to figure out exactly how to make it in business. And instead of reading a bunch of books that may give you different insights, we're going straight to the source and going to all the entrepreneurs that we know who are successful in their field so we can build a community around entrepreneurs and exactly how to be successful in your field and give you all the value that you need in order to become successful as an entrepreneur. Let's go meet John.
Hey there guys, John here. Welcome to my shop, Apex Autowerks. Besides working on these beautiful Porsches, I'm a mechanical engineer. Went to Stevens Tech, it's been 15 years ago at this point. I've always loved motorsports, aviation, anything basically with an engine in it. It was really an eye-opening experience though to go to the engineering side of it, seeing the mathematics behind it, the research and development side of it, and really explore. Prior to me starting the business though, I worked in a couple of various fields, whether it was a defense contractor, which was ITT at the time, worked for PSE&G in their nuclear facility and their turbine facility. Having all that machining experience and the various experiences that the engineering side of things brought to me, that passion grew all the way to race cars, mini Formula One cars or FSAE cars, and today we have GT3 cars that we work with. I came to decide one day I wanted to start my own business, be an entrepreneur, and that's become a whole challenge in itself and a learning curve definitely. But here we are, sharing my passion with the world, and hopefully you guys can get something out of it. Growing up in the automotive world in the sense of being a car enthusiast, I got a lot of experience, whether I was helping my father change out a muffler, doing the brake jobs. And so I was very hands-on from a very young age, but that kept on growing. It was just compounding more and more. And then when I went to mechanical engineering school, where I got my degree, that gave it a whole different side of the business, or the engineering or the technology side of it, right? Now it was no longer me just taking parts apart and changing the parts and understanding kind of what's going on. Now it became of why was something designed the way it was designed? How are we gonna really optimize it? How are we gonna make it better? I could actually design this stuff from scratch. The limits became me, not the parts themselves.
There's a lot of entrepreneurs watching this video. A lot of them are also auto technicians. When was the first time that you realized my business can actually become profitable, and how did you expand upon it?
Profitable, that's a good question. I don't even know if it's profitable to this very day, actually. There's a lot more negatives in business that people don't think about when they first get into it, between customer relationships, marketing, branding, quality control, overhead expenses that you just were not expecting. There'd be payroll, insurances, whatever, and so on and so forth. It becomes very expensive. Then there's the specialized tools that we have to get just for these particular cars. If I want to work on the McLaren, I have to have the McLaren tools. If I want to work on Porsche, I have to have the Porsche tools. And yes, we did create a lot of our tools ourselves because Porsche charges an arm and a leg for some of the equipment that they have. But at the end of the day, you still get stuck either making it or buying it. It creates a whole bunch of havoc. Working with clientele, it's very difficult to give every single client the exact outcome that they want, at the price point that they want, and at the speed that they want. So it's a very tough balancing act of keeping the client happy, making sure you're profitable, and providing the quality workmanship that you want to provide.
So there's a lot of people coming into the entrepreneurial space. How do you view competition as a business owner who's already established?
We're competitive. I'm a very competitive person by nature. Put me into a race car and get me onto a racetrack, I will run you off the racetrack if I can. I see almost red, and it takes a lot of self-control to not go that competitive. And that comes over to the business side of it. And I've learned as I've gotten older, more mature, that there's gonna be competition, there's gonna be younger guys coming into it now that I've gotten older. There's no reason to try to crush them. It's very healthy to have good competition. They keep you on your toes and I keep them on their toes. They keep me pushing because I wanna stay competitive with the younger guys that's gonna have more energy, more willingness, more hunger, more drive to expand into the market space. So it's gonna keep me going, but my competition with them is gonna force them to say, hey, that's what we gotta strive for. That's what we gotta push to. There's the workmanship level that we gotta keep going and try to get their market share. I would love to always work with people that are just getting into the space, give them advice, give them the secret sauce that I learned over the last 15 years so they don't have to waste their time of experiencing 10 years of shit just to get to 5 years of profitability or some positive.
Was there ever a time you wanted to give up as an entrepreneur? And if so, how did you work past it?
Almost every week. Almost every week. You want to, when you're in business, especially in the early years, you look at yourself at the end of the day where you're like doing 15 to 18 hour days. Literally, there were days where I would work 24 hours straight. 7 a.m., work all day, sleep a couple hours on the couch in the front office for like 3 in the morning, get right back up and just keep going. And there's a day that you just wonder to yourself, when is this gonna pay off? When is this gonna actually be worth something? And then you get hit with random bills, you get hit with random surcharges or fees, something the government wants, extra taxes for this, and you're like, how am I gonna pay for this? How am I gonna make payroll? How am I gonna do X, Y, and Z? I have all these bills impending and looming over my head, and it becomes a very stressful situation. You just have to have the drive, you have to have the push, you have to have the self-preservation to say, I can't give up, it's not an option, and just keep going forward. Eventually, if you have the perseverance to keep it going, you'll get to a point where you're like, wow, all this shit that I went through was actually worth it for something, and you get to have some results. And then from there, you use that result as more fuel to the fire, to more fuel to your drive, to keep saying, all right, I could go further, there's a next plateau, let's go to the next challenge.
Was there any mistakes that you came across in your entrepreneurial journey that helped you get to this point that you're at right now?
Working on the PDK transmissions that we explored.
Porsche PDKs.
Yeah, the Porsche PDKs. That was a very rough journey of the last 4 years. I remember the first one that we took apart, it probably took me like 6.5 months to figure out, between taking it apart, repairing it, understanding how to program it, dissecting the programming algorithm and the structure that Porsche designed into the engineering portion of it, how this thing actually functioned, how to take it apart, make the tools for it, because it didn't exist at the time.
And I'm sure you were bleeding money during those 6 months trying to figure this out.
Bleeding money is the understatement. The bleeding the money, you could, at least you could deal with bleeding the money, because you could let the car just sit in a corner and you stare at it until something just hits you and you're like, oh wait, let me try this. But now imagine every single day or every other day, you have the client that owns a car, says, hey John, I'm paying you an exorbitant amount of money. My car is nowhere to be seen. What's going on? What do we do about this? And every week when I talk to the guy, and it's like, I don't have an answer for you yet. I don't know how to fix this thing yet. I don't know what to do yet. The only leverage I had at the time was having a massive savings for this gentleman to start with. And I took this thing apart. I have to figure it the fuck out. I gotta know how this thing operates. I have to become an expert in this. That was what kept on pushing me to succeed to where we are now, where we can take apart a PDK blindfolded, every single variant, every single model, understand how it is, and we become almost like an industry expert in it. We're working with the 2 other main shops in the country. We're collaborating a lot, and we're trying to just, help people out with their PDK problems and everything else, but just don't give up. There's nothing else to it. No matter how big the stress is, how much problems it's gonna create, you just keep pushing it.
To the entrepreneurs watching this video, and myself included, because I'm trying to grow my own marketing company, what is one piece of advice that you want to give someone who may be in the mindset of, I want to grow, but I don't know how to?
I'm gonna use my own self as an example in this particular space. Go find individuals that are already successful, talk to them. Even if it's 30 seconds to an hour, sit down, pick their brain, and understand what they did, what they didn't do, learn from their experiences. You will be leaps and bounds ahead of everyone else. Learning from your experiences and everything else, it's better to learn from someone else's experiences. You're not wasting your time, you're not wasting your resources. You already have someone that already figured it out. Take their secret sauce and apply.
So we shouldn't be afraid to go to our competition to ask for advice.
Absolutely not. Well, it could be your competition, or it could be someone in a completely different market space. But the mentality, understand from them, what was their secret sauce in making their entrepreneurship worthwhile? How did they apply themselves to get growth out of it? There's a couple key ingredients. If you're in IT, computer, construction, every single one has the same key components. They have drive, lack of fear, they take risks, they just keep pushing themselves. No matter how big the fucking mountain is, they just don't stop. My father had a saying that he literally lived by: don't be afraid of work, let work be afraid of you. And when I compare myself to that, I still feel lazy. I still feel like I'm inadequate in that sense. I look at the man, I'm like, and I have a ton of respect for my father. Yeah, it's just mind-blowing that you look at the old school guys, you're like, these guys are just machines. How do I compare with them? And they're idle. You try to live up to it and doing the best that we can and just keep pushing.
John, thank you so much.
It was a pleasure. Thanks so much, man. Appreciate it. Thank you, guys.